Welcome back, listeners, to a brand new episode of the New Standard. And the title of this evening's program is simply 6-2. Uh oh. Uh oh. I gotta. Am I going to have to finish the song? Uh-oh. And big up to Laura Top Life, Marcus J, and Steelers Freak for chiming in. You are checking out the Steelers show after the Steelers are up to 6-2, headed into the bye week. Six and two, baby. Steelers are on a roll. As always, you're checking out the program. Please hit us with a like and subscribe. You can also hit the program via podcast. We'll put up the podcast tonight, which is a recording of this show. And man, you guys know what we do on this show. We jump into numbers don't lie, winners and losers for the game, overall game grades, and holistic thoughts. And in the holistic thoughts segment, we're going to take a look at the second half of the season and take a look at the schedule. And I know, I mean, you guys know what I've been doing. I've been picking against the Steelers to use my reverse slep rock powers. So every time I pick against the Steelers, they win. So that's why I'm picking against the Steelers. I really thought the Steelers would win this game. I thought they'd win the game a little more comfortably, but I thought they would win the game nonetheless. They are playing fantastic football going into the break, into the bye, get a little healthy, get Zach Frazier back, get some other pieces back as they continue to roll. And man, I can say I'm not surprised per se because I did pick the Steelers to start the year 6-2. If you go back and take a look at my prediction show, I did predict the Steelers to go 6-2. I knew that they were going to have to start hot and start fast, considering the second half of their schedule. But let's jump into this ball game. And as always, at the top of the program, we jump into a numbers don't lie. But before we do that, I want to jump into a couple of your comments out here. Big up to Steelers Freak, Beanie Baby. Can we start calling Beanie Siegel? I mean, the Beanie Siegel from Rockefeller, the one from Philly with the bars. Can we start calling him Beanie Siegel? Because he's balling. Beanie with another pick, getting 3 picks in the last 2 weeks. And do like Laura Top Life said, the Black Wonder Woman in the background. Like she said, smash that like button and come in, folks. Hit me with a like and subscribe. Big up. We're not going to jump into this just yet. This comment by Marcus J talking about the run defense. We're going to save that till later because this is all positive vibes after another great win. Big up to my guy, the Stillmatic Network, G Honda. Make sure you check out his program. They do a fantastic job. And I think Young Boy said it best. Steelers is looking kind of dangerous. Kind of dangerous. Come on, Derpy. You've been watching the Steelers long enough, dog. You know what it is. And Derpy said, why is it always a heart attack, cardiac arrest type game for the Steelers? And Derpy, you shouldn't have been nervous. They was going up against Brian Daboll, who was putting that tackle one-on-one against TJ Watt. As soon as you saw that, you should have known how this was going to end, as TJ always puts on the cape. Holla at your boy. But we're going to talk about this other comment from Edward James Garner. And I'm going to talk about that as we give overall grades. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to save not Derpy's comments, but I'm going to save Marcus J's comments, and I'm going to save Edward James Gardner's comments when we give the grades for this show. And I'm going to jump into Young Boy 24's comments as we jump into the grades for the show. The first number I want to jump into in the segment Numbers Don't Lie is the number that was flashed by the ABC or the ESPN broadcasting crew when they broadcasted 22. The number 22 represents the 22nd straight win at home on Monday Night Football. Come on, man. As much as we complain about Tomlin, the man wins games in prime time. That's what he does. He's a big time coach. And hey, man, I know y'all don't like Tomlin sometimes, but he's coaching his ass off. He is absolutely coaching his ass off. And thank you, James Galway, for the comment on the Monday Night Fade, baby. You know, I got pandemic cutting skills. I stopped going to the barber shop and start hooking myself up. So I got the pandemic barber skills with the natural, nice, tight line. And big up to my guy, Mel. And big up to Mel. I want to give big up to Omega Sci-Fi on the starting of a chapter in Lagos, Nigeria. So big up to the brothers of Omega Sci-Fi for starting the first chapter in Africa. That's a big deal. That is awesome. And so big up to you and the brothers from Omega Sci-Fi Mail. That is awesome. I saw that this weekend. Here's another number I want to jump into. The number 3 is the magic number. And this is the third straight week where the Steelers have scored over 25 points. Man, like, I don't play the numbers, but y'all should use the Steelers' last 3 scores if you playing numbers. If you playing numbers, you need to play, 26, 37, 33. I think those were the last 3 numbers. Y'all need to play those numbers if you play the lottery. Play those numbers. The next number I want to jump into, and this is a fantastic stat here, is the number 202. And big up to Cam Hayward for setting the record for the all-time number of games played by a defensive starter for the Pittsburgh Steelers. So big up to Cam Hayward. I knew Cam as a kid. He was the biggest kid I've ever seen in my life. But big up to Cam. Big up to his family. Big up to the memory of my man Ironhead. And big up to the Hayward family, fantastic family. And big up to him on the number 202, all-time record defensive games played from Cam Hayward. And big up to the Buckeyes of Ohio State. Another number I want to jump into is the number 24. And big up to TJ Watt. 24 strip sacks as he got a big strip sack in a play against Daniel Jones to help close out that game. And you need a closer. You need a closer like that to close out games. And TJ comes up with it every game, all the time. He makes some type of defensive play that changes the outcome of the game. Since he has been in the NFL, his 24 strip sacks are the most in the National Football League. So big up to him. But the most important number is the number 6. 6-2, baby, atop the division as both the Ravens and the Bungles get beat. Big win by the Browns over the Ravens. And as I keep watching this division, you know, I don't want to get too excited. Although I sound excited, I don't want to get too excited. Get a little frisky. Maybe y'all might have to pour some water on your boy. And again, you're checking out the new standard, 6-2, the Steelers versus Giants post-game show. Please hit us with a like and a subscribe. And big up to you, my guy, Bugatti Gates. If you're riding a Bugatti and listening to my show, you the man, and you need to contribute to the program because I know just one of your rims and one of your spokes can pay for this show for the entire year. But big up to you, Mr. Bugatti. As we jump into the wins and losers of this game, I want to jump into a name that stands out. And of course, the name stands out. And you got to throw in Danny Smith. Danny Smith is the man. Danny Smith is absolutely the man. His special teams unit is absolutely balling this year. We always talk about football is 3 phases. But a lot of times, me, myself included, and a lot of other people who talk about football, all of us talking heads, we ignore the impact of special teams. But special teams is fantastic. They're playing fantastic. And Calvin Austin with the big kickoff return, had a big touchdown reception. He played fantastic. But isn't it funny how solid quarterback play and playing with rhythm and timing, as Russell Wilson finished the game 20 of 28, completed 72% of his balls, 278 yards, yards per attempt, again above 9 yards, 9.9, almost 10, with a rating of 115, and he got sacked 4 times. Imagine if he could clean that up, had the turnover. But this offense is more explosive than I thought it would be. And I think this offense is explosive because of scheme and because Arthur Smith, is willing to take deep shots. So big up to Danny Smith, big up to Calvin Austin, and big up to Najee Harris. I have ripped Najee Harris a new one a lot on this show. Najee Harris again with another bell cow game. 19 attempts, 114 yards, average 6 yards per carry, looked explosive. And the running game is showing up week in, week out. Steelers ran the ball 31 times for 167 yards. That's over 5 yards a carry. Jaylen Warren had 9 runs or rushes for 46 yards, 5.1 yards per carry. The offense is cooking. It is starting to sizzle. And the bad thing about it is, just as it's starting to sizzle, they got to take a break. One thing, and somebody mentioned it on the chat, Pat Freiermuth, a little quiet in the game. The tight ends were targeted 3 times. They had 3 receptions. They had 49 yards receiving. Washington had a reception for 29 yards. I would like to see Freiermuth get involved a little bit more in this offense. But the offense is trending up. And that just goes to show you, good quarterback, consistent quarterback play can elevate an offense, particularly if the offense is playing in a good scheme. And kudos to the offensive line. They gave up 4 sacks today, but they're continuing to run the football better. Now, in terms of some of the things that came up in the chat and looking at some of the negatives, but I'm not going to say they're huge negatives. I'm not going to say it's huge negatives. Just a little bit. And we're going to jump into some of your comments in here. I do hear a comment. Somebody said, trade Justin Fields. Are you crazy? Are you crazy? Trade Justin Fields? Whoever said that is crazy. Whoever said trade Justin Fields is crazy. And I'ma just take it as what it is, man. You're happy, you're euphoric because the Steelers are 6-2 atop the division. arguably could be 7-1 had they come back and won that game against Indianapolis. But Russ is cooking, hence the 9.9. But the thing that does have to get cleaned up, like Chris Osu said, is red zone play. The red zone play has to get cleaned up. And that goes to another comment that was made by Marcus J. Marcus J talked about the run defense, PQ6. Edward James Garner also talked about always appreciate a win, but our offense leaves some points on the field and our defense occasionally falls asleep at the wheel. Might not cut it later on. Thank you for those comments. And they did leave some points on the board. But this still is Russell's only his second game back after not playing football for an extended amount of time. There's always things you can correct and get better at as you grow and progress. And I suspect that they will get better. But this is another game where this offense gained 426 yards of offense, although they were 0-4 in the game in the red zone. In fact, both teams were terrible in the red zone. The Giants were 0-3. The Steelers were 0-4. That is the big negative to me that jumps out in this game, is that they weren't able to convert their red zone attempts. I'm encouraged by the fact that they got 4 red zone attempts. I'm also encouraged that they converted about half of their third down attempts, and they averaged about 7 yards a play. This offense is getting better. Imagine what this offense will be when you get back Zach Frazier. Or hopefully the time off gives Broderick Jones an opportunity to get healthy, because Broderick Jones right now is clearly the weak link on the Steelers' offensive line. I hope it's injury stuff. I think that he's got to get a little healthier, but still, I still think there should be the thought of trying to get a wide receiver before the draft deadline. And I think, not the draft deadline, the trade deadline. And I think the trade deadline is election day next week. And in regards to election day, I'm not going to tell you who to vote for, but what I will say is don't disenfranchise yourself, exercise your right, vote for who you want to or not. But please get out to the ballots, exercise your right, preferably, and go ahead and vote, man. Do your thing. In terms of winners and losers, again, Danny Smith, Beanie Siegel, Calvin Austin, Najee Harris is a winner. Russell Wilson is a winner. They are playing solid football. And I got to give kudos to Mike Tomlin for making the quarterback switch. It is coming up roses. It looks great and lovely that he's making the switch. Before I get into overall game grades, I want to jump into a few of your comments. And young boy, you're absolutely right. Got to start calling him Tomlin Primetime. Or I'm going to go like this, Primetime T. Primetime T in the place to be. He coaches the Steelers to victory ease. I was trying to drop some bars there. Steelers Freak chimed in with, they are passing my eye test and are moving the ball on offense. Absolutely. I mean, I'm watching the game. I'm like, what the hell am I watching? Like, am I watching a functional offense that's coordinated well? Like, what am I watching? I'm watching professional offense. I'm watching points. What's going on here? Like, I'm flummoxed because we have not seen consistent football on the offensive side in years. We have not seen a stretch for a long time where they had back-to-back 30-point games and a 26-point game. I mean, we're not used to that. I mean, the only thing weirder than that is Jared Goff throwing for 85 yards and they still scored 52 points. But let me jump into this question from Mike Wolf. Do you think Taco Bell will do a promotional triple beanie burrito because of his 3 interceptions? Facts. I'm gonna go with facts. I'm gonna answer it facts. They are going to go with a triple bean burrito because of his 3 interceptions. But I'm gonna say this to you, Mike Wolf. Please wear a shirt that says I had a triple bean burrito when you get in the elevator with somebody. Please do that because I don't want to get into the elevator after you consume the triple beanie burrito. And big up to Grayson again. You're checking out the new standard 6-2. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Grayson's killing me. Grayson said he didn't like beanie. He doesn't like beans. The triple beam dream. Yes. Yes. Well, you have to say, you see, I'm a hip hop fan. I said triple beam, but triple bean would be more appropriate. We can't say triple beam. we can't say that. But you clearly see in this offense that Russ is managing the offense much better. They get in and out of their plays much better. The touch on the deep ball is still fantastic. And his ability to throw the deep ball is opening up the running game. It is flowing. It is flowing right now. Triple beam miracle dream. I be that. I love Mike Wolf because that's a Biggie line. If you're a fan of hip hop, you know that line. That is a Biggie line. Unfortunately, the New York Yankees are getting foot their ass by the Dodgers. I'm a Giant fan, but I am rooting for the Dodgers because of the passing of Fernando Valenzuela. And ROP to Fernando Valenzuela El Toro. I don't like the Dodgers, but I love me some Fernando. And big up to the triple beam dream. I be that. Yes, with the Biggie voice. Yes, Stillmatic Network, G Honda. But the Steelers are in a great position going into the bye. You can get Frazier back. You get a little more healthy. Russ can rest. A lot of game film when you can self-scout and break down your offense and come up with some kinks and some things that you might want to get to. The whole question of the quarterback, that stuff is over. That stuff is gone. He is the quarterback moving forward. And you're confident that if Justin Fields has to step in, he can step in. You're getting fantastic offensive line play by the young guys. They did a fantastic job in the draft of supplementing this offensive line. So everything right now is pointed up for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Plus, when you look at the Ravens are a very good team. Lamar is fantastic, but the Ravens aren't that good defensively. The Ravens are not that good defensively. The other thing in terms of defensively, I think the Steelers could have been a little bit more sound in the run game. I thought they were getting out of their fits. So when I look at overall grades, I thought the Steelers did a good job on defense in terms of getting some pressure late in the game, got some turnovers in the game. Of course, they're turning the ball over. I think they're probably about, I would guess maybe a +8 in turnovers. They're probably ranked top 5, I'm guessing, turnovers. But you got to be a little more sound in your run fits. That's the one thing that I thought was a negative in this game was I thought the defense was not good in its run fits. And this is the second game I will say that I thought the Steelers have not tackled as well as I've seen them tackle this year. But overall, it was a solid effort. They keep an opponent again under 20. They're probably, I would guess, giving up about 15 points a game. So going into the break, I think they're fantastic. I mean, I guess the point differential will probably be closer to 10. And so if they keep stacking victories like this, and like James Galway said, like and subscribe to the program, baby. Like and subscribe to the program. On a programming note, because they have the rest of the week off and have a bye, I'm going to take the rest of the week off. but you can still interact with your boy as I'm going to be putting up true or false statements on my TikTok. So look for Steelers true or false on TikTok, where I put on true or false statements and get your reactions to it. Like, for example, I had a true or false. True or false, will Najee Harris run for 100 yards? It was true. True or false, will Russell Wilson pass for 250 plus yards? That was true. So you see where your boy is going with the true or falses. So make sure you interact with the show. That'll be my content until we come back. So the next show that you get will not be this Wednesday coming up, but will be the following Wednesday. I'm going to take a break off, recharge my batteries. I'm 6-2, ready to run through a door on the other side of the break and get busy. Big up to my guy, Chris Osu. Damn, I need to place bets on your true or false. I'm telling you, got to hit me. I'm laying them out there. I'm putting layups out there for you, Chris. I'm putting layups. I'm telling you how the game is going to go. My Nostradamus is hitting. So you got to put me out there, Chris. Chris, you got to check me out. You got to check me out. Mike Wolf, big up with the comment. Next time, we got to educate the millennial generation on the scientific lecture of a triple beam. Yes, triple beam lyrical dream. I be that. Yes. Yes. But with that, the Steelers are 6-2. Uh-oh. The NFL might have a problem. Steelers might have an offense to go with that D. Uh-oh. Because I got a feeling. I got a feeling, and Grayson is right. I would love to get Slayton from the Giants so he wouldn't put up another 100 yards plus receiving. I want to see one thing I'm interested in seeing on the other side of break. I wonder if Terrace is going to utilize Minka in some different fashions. I wonder if he's going to utilize Minka at some point closer to the line of scrimmage. I want to see that. I want to see what happens because I think Minka is playing fantastic this year, but where they have him aligned on defense, he is not getting close to the ball. But he is being, but he is being very impactful because he's eliminating a lot of plays. Before I get out of here, ton of big plays by Steelers receivers. There were receivers, I think there were 7 different receivers who caught a ball of 10 yards or more. But big up to the Steelers and Mike Tomlin and his staff playing fantastic football. I'm going to close the show out with my guy Mel. Keep rising to the top. Give it all you got. Give it all you got, because it ain't no half stepping, because we're the Get Fresh crew. Yeah. But with that, we are going to conclude the program. And as always, tune in, tell a friend, and subscribe. 6-2. Uh-oh. I got a feeling.